Oh, okay. Guess that sort of works. Hello and welcome. How are you all doing? I'm just setting this up. No, don't play that. I'm trying to find my own channel here. Here we go. Here we go. Right. Advanced. Okay, I've got something still uploading, so might be a bit choppy for a couple of minutes, but then it'll settle down. So, right. So yeah, I did say in the Space Marine Drop Pod unboxing that I would live stream this 66 pieces, 33 pieces per drop pod. Most anticipated video live stream of the year. I've been working earlier today, so hence why things have been a bit later. There's still going to be a news and pre-order video coming out later this evening after this live stream. It's going to take about 50 minutes of editing and things, but yeah, that will still come out today, and there will be another video tomorrow. But I'm going to try and do both of these in this one live stream, so we'll see. I'm not a big fan of these, as you can tell in that unboxing, but we'll get through it. We'll get through it. All right. So first of all, let's take this elephant of the room off this sprue. Oh, my lighting is a bit odd. That'll do. Okay. Right. So let's get cracking. This plastic, you know, you can just tell. Like I said in the unboxing, it feels firmer, coarser, less detail. You can always tell as well with the like dirt and rocks and gravel. I don't know if this is made in the UK. I really don't. But anybody that's had any scenery kits ever will kind of know what I'm talking about. So here it is. This is it. This is you. This is you. Doesn't even get a base. The drop pod is the base. Super. Calm down. So what they really want you to do is take 4. Yeah, the numbering system looks really odd as well. It's really quite kind of thin. Have I got another sprue? Yeah, I've got another sprue here. Yeah, you look at the numbers here on this sprue, on the Arabia. They're thick, whereas these are like quite thin, and it's almost like numbering parts is new to this model, to this process. Anyway, we need to take out number 4s, which are these wings. In fact, they're all numbered 4, so they're all exactly the same, I would think. The one thing which is very annoying is each one of these wings, all 4 of them, actually 5 of them, have some most horrific mold lines. You could probably see from here. Like, I don't need to zoom in that far. Look at that. That's disgusting. I'm going to lose sleep over that. I am. Okay. Right. I'm going to wake up tomorrow morning, middle of the night actually, tomorrow morning, in cold sweats thinking about how thick these mold lines are. Wow. You could use these mold lines on a guitar or something. Right. What's that? Oh, hello, Revan. Hello, Maxim. Does it come with the usual base or the Does it come with the usual base or the hollow parts isn't covered? Doesn't come with the base. This is it. This is it. That's what it comes with. Are these being used in Heresy now too? Drop pods have always been used in Horus Heresy. I keep forgetting, Danica, that you're new. You're completely new to all this. So yeah, please ask away, my friend. Yeah, drop pods have been used in Horus Heresy. The only difference is these are the, I say, new ones. It's one step forwards and probably 3 steps back, in my opinion. I don't know. I've the fact that we've got these new drop pods, which from Games Workshop's perspective, from what they've said officially, is they've created them to settle the age-old argument of when you deploy your drop pod in game, do the doors remain open or do they stay shut? That's their explanation. I've just lost all faith in the drop pod game since they've released these that we didn't need or didn't want, compared to plastic Dreadnought drop pods. I know I've been crying about plastic Dreadnought drop pods for the past 3 years, but honestly, I would take those over these any day of the week. Just one plastic Dreadnought drop pod, £5. Okay, probably like 20 quid or 25 quid. You know, I would take that. Let's get these two out as well. Look at how many there are here. You can't really go wrong. They're all numbered 4. I wonder what the 4 responds to. Is it how deep the mold lines are? They're 4 millimeters deep, thick mold lines. Honestly, these are some of the thickest mold lines I've seen on a made in England kit, which I don't believe. I just don't believe. We need to release the build files. I think that's the conspiracy here. We need to find out where this kit was actually made, because I don't know, I'm starting a conspiracy theory that I just don't think they were made in England. And if they are, then it's a very, very poor show. That's the problem. Like, if you're going to say that something like this is made in England and then it's not good, it works for you because you know, you made it somewhere else that's cheaper, way cheaper, and you made more of a profit. But the amount of damage it could do long term, because people's expectations, if they see this and they say, made in England, and you've got mold lines this thick, and they go, right, well, crikey, if these were made in England, I've got no faith on any future products that were also made in England. Just lose that. So they don't win. I mean, is it really worth saving or making a few extra pounds to say that it's made in England and it's not? If you're going to lose the sale of a complete new kit, I don't think it is. I really don't. Anyway, that's the drop pod basically clipped off the sprue. I'm not joking. It's the base. It's the 5 winglets, aerials, I don't know what you'd call them. The thruster, this extra piece of the door that's also doesn't have a base. And then these chapter symbols. I don't know whether to go for. The thing is, I don't want to even think about besmirching my beautiful resin Dark Angels Horus Heresy army with these monstrosities. You know what? I'm just going to play it safe. I'm just going to put the eagle on there. I'm not going to put the Dark Angels. Maybe if we get a plastic dreadnought drop pod, I'll probably do that. Or, you know, I don't even think that I've put the Dark Angels sign on the old dreadnought drop, drop pods. I don't think I did. So that's fine. I can live with that. I can live without the scenery drop pods, without the Legion's insignia or the chapter's insignia. That's fine. I can sleep at night. Well, I might be able to sleep at night if I wasn't thinking about how thick, not in a good way, these mold lines are. That's 3. How many of these pieces do you get? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 5. Of course. So you get a Black Templars insignia. You get Blood Angels. You get Dark Angels. You get Ultramarines, Raven Guard, Space Marines, and Imperial Fists. So if you want Chaos Space Marines drop pods, you're out of luck. I would say maybe they'll get their own version of this set, but you've got all the Loyalist insignias like built into the sprue. So they're going to have to create a brand new set. And according to Games Workshop, apparently Chaos don't even use drop pods anymore, which is a load of rubbish. Yeah, definitely, Maxim, definitely. Totally agree. Totally agree. Two Techless drop pod. No, it's 3 sprues. It's a 3 sprue one. But two of the same sprue, and then, well, a duplicate sprue and then an extra sprue. But that is it. That is, I mean, look how many rocks and things we get. Look how many. 2, 4, 6, 8. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, hang on. There's some with 2, some without. $26 rocks per drop pod. I'm just throwing that out there. And you can put the rocks, it looks like, anywhere. You could put no rocks on, I think. Yeah, you don't have to put any rocks there. Yeah, you don't have to put any rocks. Rocks on or rocks off. Or Roxanne. I don't know. Sorry, now you've got that song in your head, haven't you? We're just gonna take everything off the sprues right now, and we're gonna be left with a pile of rocks. But yeah, I think the rocks can go any which way. Honestly, you can build this kit with your eyes closed. We have gone too many steps back. When did the OG drop pod release? I want to say like I want to say like 2010, or was it earlier than that? It must have been earlier than 2010, surely. Was it like 2008? They've really been around for like 17 years or more. But anyway, we have gone backwards. This is devolution right here. Devolution. I'm doing this for you guys. I'm doing this for the channel. You know. Now I'm assuming these small pile of rocks. Oh. We'll go with this one drop pod. There we go. Pile of rocks. Space Marine drop rocks. That's what this box set should be called. The only way GW can redeem themselves now is to bring out an all singing, all dancing, bells and whistles, Dreadnought drop pod in plastic with Horus Heresy. You know, that's the only way of redemption. See, I mean, this piece of rock, like, these are all different. They bundled in different rocks with the other side. Oh, sorry. Now I'm getting anxious if this kit really was made in China, if I'm sneezing. Here we go. I meant, are these new drop pod kits replacing them in both Heresy and 40k? They seem too modern for 30k, in my opinion. Danica, no, not modern. These were the designs for the Horus Heresy drop pods as well. You got to remember, like, well, not remember, but try and understand that, like, rhinos, like if you see the 40k rhinos, they existed in Horus Heresy. There's multiple patterns like Mars, Deimos, things like that. You know, I guess you could say they look quite modern, but these were the ones they used as well. Just different Forge Worlds make different things. But yeah, they've completely replaced the old kit, which is, yeah, as I keep saying throughout this, 1 step forward, 3 steps back, in my opinion. Such a shame. At least if you're going to have these as an option, keep the old ones. I don't know what happened to the old ones. Maybe it's bizarre, isn't it? Because if you explain it in the way that you know, they've done away with the old drop pods because they've stopped selling, why create a brand new kit that is way worse in the hope that it would generate more sales? Like, that baffles me if that has been the case. And also it baffles me the other way, that if those drop pods were selling, why cancel their run just to create these, which you don't know whether they will sell or not. I don't like how they forced you into it. You know, I wouldn't have explained it. It wouldn't have been too bad if they hadn't forced you into it by keeping the existing drop pod product available. But because it's completely replaced it, you've got no choice. So, yeah. Beans are expensive. Look, I know beans are expensive, but a can of beans, just saying, okay? Or one of those, you know, those Pringle pots, shrinkflation, everything getting smaller, but the smaller Pringles pot, that could probably do. Plus, how much is a small Pringle pot? Like £1, £1.50, compared to 50 quid. And the reason why I'm saying 50 quid and not 25 is because £50 is your entry fee to get one, you know. 1 with and 1 off rocks wise. Okay, I'll go for that. I guess you could use the rocks on your other miniatures, but I really would advise against that, because they're just poor quality, and you're just going to ruin your your Citadel miniatures if you do that. I would not advise it. I don't know what you could put them on. Other Chinese made scenery kits. At least they'd blend in, wouldn't they? Yeah, no, I totally agree, Moxtron. I don't agree with this at all. But I'm taking one for the team here. Hi, Polycat. Thank you. Seen 2008 on the thank you, Jarnold. Appreciate that. Thank you. 2008. I knew it was about that time. I want to say that's when they released Sternguard in metal. Was it metal? I can't remember. I honestly, I just can't remember then. I know that they did have a kind of big Space Marine release back in 2008. I bought a few things. That was my that was my relapse. I hadn't been collecting it for well, the year before in 2007. I think I picked up the Baneblade and Stomper. That's when those were released, 2007. £60 as well. Can you believe it? £60. And yeah, then the next year, they released a few Space Marine things. And yeah. But then after 2008, I didn't collect again until, yeah, 2013 or so. I started getting back in the hobby. So yeah, that was another sort of 5-year gap I had. This is the thing, I haven't been collecting every single year that I've been alive. There have been many periods where I've stopped collecting. But what this I don't know, this message of replacing the old beloved drop pods with these abominations is, it sends a message to me that, you know, no mini is safe. Like, you look at the lovely Rhino or the Predator tanks and you think, yeah, they're beloved kits. I like those. I hope they stay around forever. Would they replace them? I don't know. I think if they could make them in China, they would. Yeah, I really do. But what I really don't get, I don't like the fact that it says "Made in England" on it. I really don't. You know, if you're not, I would rather them not even put where it was made, because like I said before, you get this kit and it says "Made in England." Yeah, you're going to look at other kits that say "Made in England" differently. You're going to be like, hang on a minute. I remember that drop pod kit that said "Made in England." I had to spend 5 hours getting rid of 20 really hard mold lines, and the rocks had terrible detail on them, and you know. Sort of typos. Yeah, no worries, Datna. Hey, no worries. I'm sure that old metal stern guard, that the first plastic ones copied the poses. Look at the models. I'm not really sure. Is this your day job? No, it's not my day job. No. This is my hobby, is to share my hobby. Primaris Rhino. We've already got a Primaris Rhino, but it's the one from the Warhammer HQ. That is called a Primaris Rhino. Or are you reaching to, in terms of you know, well, let's just make a bigger Rhino for Primaris? I don't know. I don't know about that. It's the fact that we've got normal size rhinos in Space Marine 2, haven't we? And normal size predators. I say normal size. They're the same shrunken tanks as in the rest of the game, unfortunately. That Baneblade does make me chuckle. And the Lehman Russ. I don't know what it is. It's all the vehicles in that game. They just look squished. Especially the Lehman Russ. I mean, the Thunderhawk does too. But yeah. Okay. So we're almost finished taking all the pieces off this. I will need to go and grab a drink at some point. It's still quite warm here, like it's like a humid heat now. Yeah. Okay. Right. There we go. Right, that's all the sprues gone. Definitely different than, I mean, you can just tell, like, you can tell with the so this is your Made in England Citadel kit, and this is your supposed Made in England kit, and you can just tell with the detail and like the quality of the plastic, and like you can just tell. It's kind of like a shiny gleam. The holes aren't quite indented. They just don't have the right kind of detail, and the rubble and things. The rivets give it away. They're kind of smudged, as opposed to like these, which are very, yeah, I just, yeah, such a shame. Is this a sign of things to come? I don't know. Right, so we are, let's see what happens if we just put these in. Can I get away with it? God, these even go in correctly? That's risky. Yeah, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to. Yeah, I can't. In all consciousness, I can't just put them in like that. I'm gonna have to get the mold lines out from all there. There's even mold lines in there, which is just rank. But they're like so thick. Okay, let's get rid of the sprue waste off of them. Okay. Yeah, I remember the Scout Land Speeder. Is it the Storm? Land Speeder Storm with the scouts on them. The coloured, yeah, definitely. Yeah, totally agree, Maxim. Right, let's take these bits off. This shouldn't take me too long to clean up. I am going to take every bit of this off though, and file the pieces down for one of them, and then glue it to give you an idea. I haven't got the old drop pod nearby. I don't actually know where the drop pod is. I'm going to have to find that before I do a review of these tomorrow. The review of these is going to come out very quickly. I think I'm going to give you the review of these on Monday, actually, which is, yeah, I know, unheard of. but I wanted to get the review out as quick as. Yeah, as I say, apologies for the lateness of the news and pre-order video. That is coming out later tonight after this live stream once I've edited it. I was working earlier, so there was absolutely no way I could have made that for you. Yeah, the mold lines here, even with me scraping with the blade, they still exist. Yeah, they still exist. Wow. And that's everywhere. It's almost like the molds just don't match up. Their injection mold is just awful. Wherever they are. Very much doubt it's England. Yeah, this... Yeah, I'm going to absolutely roast this in the review. It's a good job I got them today on release day. To give you all a heads up. I wonder whether I should make one of those headline titles. Do not buy, you know. Maybe I should. I thought you were really new to the hobby, Danica. That doesn't sound like a new thing that someone would be doing. That sounds like someone that's been in the hobby for quite a while. Now I'm questioning your entire kind of backstory, I'm afraid. Have they only just come? Only today, Moxtron? Yeah, they're only just released today. Yeah. It has been a while since they showed them off. Yeah, yeah. Did they show them? You're right. They only showed them off in the sort of preview a couple of weeks ago, didn't they? That they were releasing. But yeah, this is. It doesn't feel like a Citadel kit. You know, the plastic is definitely harder, more coarse, lack of detail. The design just isn't there as well. Like there's not much of a many levels in the design of this kit. Just yeah. At least this is kind of done. There's some mold lines there, but yeah, and for some reason they leave this out, which is like really odd. And also, forgive me if I'm wrong, but if you put this up like kind of so, you build this. Am I right, or well, that's just fantastic. Am I right in saying that do the doors even close? Like, is that long enough? I don't think these are long enough to actually close compared to the old one. I'll do a massive comparison, guys, in the well. I'll do a review of these, okay, and then I'm going to do a separate comparison vid, like just a full vid going through these with the old ones, because I think it's worth it. I might just glue this this thing on. I'm not even. Should I even? Instruction? Yeah, no. So easy, isn't it? There's no there's like no reason to even have this. Can I compare this with the bunker in the review? What bunker? What bunker, Evan? The one that I painted? Possibly I can. This is going to kill this file as well, this plastic. I'm just going to glue this on right now because it's just silly having this. You class this kit as scenery? Definitely, this is a scenery kit. This is not. What does it say? It does say Citadel Miniatures on it as well. I don't believe it. I just don't believe it. I refuse to believe that. All right. So you're going to have a gap there as well. Amazing. So on one of the doors, the Space Marine bunker scenery. Space Marine bunker scenery. Which one's that? The Space Marine. It's a Space Marine specific. Are you talking about the Hammerfall turret thing? Is that what you're talking about? I mean, I'm trying to get rid of this gap, but no chance. It just looks rubbish, doesn't it? It really does. Like, why did they cut this bit out? Is it because of the sprue? To squeeze it on a sprue? It's like, we have to squeeze it on this one sprue. We can't make more than 3 sprues in this kit. So we'll chop off a bit of the door. Oh, you're talking about the drop pod bunker thing. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I can compare it with that. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, this isn't even a green... I mean, I could maybe put green stuff in there. Maybe. I don't know. It's just shocking. That is just shocking. It wouldn't be too bad if it joined and fit like really flush, but it just doesn't. So what a waste. Okay, right. Let's remove parts of these. As I say, I'll put these. I might as well put these eagles on as well. I mean, we have got the time. We've got the time to build both of these in the live streams. In this live stream, I mean, I'd rather just build the tarantula that I picked today. Definitely. Even though that gets built in a couple of minutes. But yeah, let's crack on with this. I mean, even if you gave it the benefit of the doubt and you said, okay, this kit, it's awful, but because this is what I was thinking. I was thinking this kit, one of its redeeming, it's not going to be a redeeming feature, but one of these positives of the kit is because it consists of so few parts, it's going to be quick and easy for you to put together. And let's face it, right? It's still quicker than the old kit, but like that meme, at what cost? And I don't think that the cost justifies the means, or the end justifies the means even. I really don't. I think you are losing too much for your gains, unless you're like on a really, really tight time scale. I don't think it's worth the sacrifices that you have to make. Nope. I would rather this kit take longer and have way more detail and just look better. The thing is they've tarnished your Citadel Miniatures Space Marine range, your Primaris range as well, which has proved to be very popular. With this abomination, you know, so you sat there with a really nice, expensive, well painted Primaris Force and things, and then you pick this kit up, which is glorified scenery. It's not even glorified, it is just scenery. And then, yeah, it really brings down the rest of your collection. Hence why I only picked up 2. And that is purely for the channel. And yeah, I just don't want to tarnish the collection with them. It's a shame they didn't keep the old kits. But yeah, stay tuned for my my review of this set, where I will be ripping them a new one. Even the dust, like you can tell as well with the dust. Look at this. What on earth is this dust? That is finer than the dust from the. It's not as fine actually. No, it's more. It stays around longer than your Citadel dust. It's clogged up my file. Yeah, this is definitely a pass. In case you didn't already realise. Fuming. Absolutely fuming. Please do not spend your hard-earned £50, please. I don't know what I would suggest you spend it on. Even 20 Mark II Space Marines that are coming out for Horus Heresy, I think that would be a better purchase than this. I don't know why they've done Space Marines dirty. I really don't. You know, to release such a kit that is so cheap and just terrible for their cash cow, their flagship army, is a massive kick in the teeth. It really is. I can't believe you've done this. Can't believe they've done this. Just spend £50 on food instead. In your food shop, have a couple of full-sized cans of beans. Treat yourself. And then don't throw them away in the recycle bin so that another company can make money out of your waste. Keep them. Maybe even keep the lid. Obviously remove the sharp edges and things so you can open and close it. And then that would still have more customization than these. Yeah, I'm absolutely flabbergasted that they would do something like this. Makes me fearful for what other things they've got planned for. I think it first started with the with removing the base off of the Rogel Dawn tank. I think that was the origin of this, and now they've progressed it to a full-on Space Marine transport kit. I mean, drop pods are so iconic and so cool in the universe. They deserve a really, really good kit. Not this. Yeah, good. Did I get any new Space Wolves? Unfortunately not, Michael. Unfortunately not. If anybody wants to send me any of the new Space Wolves, like the whole release, go for it. I'll happily do unboxings and reviews. But no, I didn't pick them up. I don't really collect Space Wolves. You know, salamanders. Depends if they get some good kits out later this year. If they do, then I might have a few minis for salamanders. Space Wolves, don't get me wrong, I think all the minis are gorgeous now. And I would have loved to have built them and reviewed them for you. But yeah. 2 Freddos. Maxim, that is pushing the boat out a little bit. 2 Freddos. You know we're in a recession. You'd be lucky if you can get 1 Freddo, let alone 2. 2 is too much of an indulgence. Buying 2 Freddos and Slanesh starts stirring. Okay. We're getting through them, guys. We're getting through them. But these mold lines are definitely going to give me conniptions. My poor file is shaking. I can hear it. It's cowering. Super, did you get Typhon box? What's the Typhon box? Oh, the kill team. No, I think you've asked me that before. No, I didn't. It was sold out too quickly. Sorry, my friend. That would have been another good one to pick up. And actually, that's quite a good thing. This is the thing, like, you got to make sacrifices, and it was either that or the Horus Heresy set. And I know everybody can't wait for me to goon over the Saturnine Terminators and the Saturnine Dreadnought. I know everybody's just waiting for that size comparison between the Dreadnought and the Telemon. The beautifully painted Telemon. And again, I would love to paint the Saturnine stuff as salamanders, you know, but yeah, they're all going to be Dark Angels. Okay, that's all of the main players done. We'll go with the rocks first, and we do have a lot of rocks. We do have a lot of rocks. So all of these 5 pieces need to have their mould lines done. The annoying thing is these mould lines are thick. They are thick. So they're a bit of an effort with my normal file, and my metal file would just scratch the plastic. I don't know. We'll have a little test, shall we? So this is my metal file. Turn the bean tin into a swear jar. This is a good point, yeah. You think the new drop pods are not that bad? Not that bad. No, they are terrible. Absolutely terrible. Right, let's see if I can scratch this maybe. We'll go for an inner area like here. Will it scratch? I might be able to get away with that. No, I don't think I can get away with that. Yeah, we're just gonna get old school with this file, I think. But I'm just gonna clip all the excess bits off these rocks, which is now so hard to decipher. Oh, classic Battle Force question. I don't know. I say it every year, but I'd like a Horus Heresy Battle Force. Maybe this is the year. I don't want any of the Battle Forces with characters. I just want some good, as new as possible kits in them, and preferably the kits that I haven't got. No, I don't know. It's coming to the point where I look at all the Battle Forces and it's like, do I really need a 8th Redemptor Dreadnought, or I don't know, 6th Repulsor, or I don't know. You know what I mean. Like, I'll do a video on them, like because I missed out on doing a video last year because I was very busy at work. But I do enjoy making those videos. Thing is, those Battle Forces, they sell out so quick. And I'm wondering if resellers just sell them quickly or whether they sit on them until after Christmas and then sell them for a bit more. I actually wonder how many Saturn box sets they sold today. I'd be very, very interested in the numbers. It didn't look like they sold out anywhere, which, you know, if you wanted to bag yourself a box set, then that's a good thing. Did the Age of Darkness box set actually sell out? I think it did. I think it did, like at some point, but then they made loads more, didn't they? And then, yeah, it's kind of flooded then. I got 2 box sets in the end. Did I build everything out of the 2? Yeah, I think I did. I think so. Or maybe I only got 1. I can't remember now. I'm so confused. Some Chaos Marines that have been on the sidelines for a while, yeah. Ah, it sold out initially, okay. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know whether this one will. I don't think everybody's a fan of those Terminators. Or just the contents of the box. I think maybe some people will pick up the Mark II separately. I mean, pay 50 quid for 20 Space Marines, or pay almost 200 for 40 with all of the other things. The Praetors look good though. The Praetors are definitely an improvement over the previous box set. The quad cannon thing though, I'm not sure about that. Dreadnought looks good, and the new one that's coming out will be decent too. I think a lot of people are excited for the Fellblade. I know people wanted a Space Marine Fellblade for a long time. But yeah, Forge World just kept increasing the prices, and I think it got to £200 or so for a Fellblade, which is a lot. That's useful. Thank you for sharing that, Dragon. Appreciate that. It's always handy to know how much these things are in other countries. So thank you. Oh, so I'm actually cleaning up all of the rocks. Space Marine Drop Rocks box set. I mean, it wouldn't be so bad if these rocks and the pebbles and things were decent quality, but they're just not. Oh yeah, you do. You do. Very much so. And that's a real shame, because from what I hear, Horus Heresy is it the most popular system over there? Yeah. Right. That's the rocks kind of done. Right, I've put it off for so long. Mould lines. Essentially, we've got these 5 strips to remove the mould lines. Glue them with this thruster, and then that's it done. So you can have these set up quite quickly. I'm not saying like you could walk into a GW, buy them off the shelf, get home, build them in time to game. It's still going to take you, well, if you didn't bother with the mold lines, which would be a huge error, I still think it would take you an hour or 2. Yeah, this file is struggling. You can tell as well. See, Citadel plastic doesn't squeak like that. It just doesn't. Look at that join there. I say join, the slippage. Yeah, their injection mold is just. This is a case of returning, definitely. That is such a big. Yeah, that's just terrible. All you have to do is just press a bit harder on these, really. But it's a bit of a workout. Yeah, because like you can't really use this thicker one because that will scratch it. And this dust as well. Yeah, this dust is like, this definitely isn't made in UK. There's absolutely no way. There's just no way. That's ruined my file as well. Just won't come off. It's completely clogged it. Like normally I can wipe it on something and get rid of a lot, but yeah, I'm going to see if I can carry on with this because it's going to ruin that file. There shouldn't be this much dust coming off it. There's no way. This is like I'm filing resin. Definitely. I'm definitely not getting sent that pot of a... Maxim, honestly, Games Workshop have never sent me anything. I'm not... Hey, I don't really care. But as a matter of a fact, 4,000 videos, 24 million views, not a single sausage. Not a single email. It's bizarre. It really is bizarre. Such a baffling company. It really is. But then again, as I've always said, I don't do the reviews or the unboxings for them. I do it for you guys. That's why I can say whatever I like. And some YouTubers can't. If something's crap, I will outright say it. If it's decent and worth your hard-earned cash, then likewise. You know, all of this information and video content is to help you make your decision. And if I'd known these were that bad, I wouldn't have even picked them up for the channel. Complete skip. But how many YouTubers and people I have made a video that, or videos that I'll be making of this, will say similar things to me? Are they allowed to? Are they censored? Tell you what, if you watch any videos that say nothing but good things about this kit, I would unsubscribe. Definitely. Because how can you trust anything else that they say? This is an absolute joke. But more on that in my review. 1 out of 10. It's like this kit kind of reminds me of if some like third party made this kit. Like that's what it reminds me of. It's like a homage, like a completely different company other than GW were able to make this drop pod for GW. That's what this kind of reminds me of. Is Games Workshop still had tie with China? Had ties? Well, I think they still make some of their kits. Yeah, they make their books. I can't remember the last scenery kit I picked up. Actually, I'll have to go back on my history. But I know that was made in China. You know what? I'm starting to think this is, say, conspiracy, a bit like, you know, shrinkflation, right? So chocolate, crisps, you know, just products in general are getting smaller. And their excuse was, oh, they're getting smaller because psychologically customers don't react well if things just go up in price. Well, actually, things went up in price and they got smaller. With Games Workshop products and things, they can't really, I say, make them smaller. So what they do is they get them built in other places with cheaper materials. And then it's kind of like the food industry's version. It's like the miniature version of shrinkflation. Yeah, there's absolutely no way these mold lines should have taken that long for a single one of these. And it's still not done because you've got the join there for the mold lines, which you will not be able to rectify unless you this is what you do with resin. You'd have to go in and correct the line of the injection mold. Their injection mold, it must be awful. Yeah, completely avoid. If you can get the old kits, get the old kits, because that's just taken me quite a while just for one piece. I think so they want you to put 2 together first. So I'm going to have to, yeah, complete another one before I can connect them to this, which they go in there. Snugly? I don't know. I don't know if that's snug. Right. I'm parched. This extra filing and yeah is not sure how I'm going to clean that off actually. Well, I'm just going to go get a drink, so I need it. Maybe I'll get a gas mask as well while I'm at it. But I've been streaming for, well, about an hour. But yeah. Let me just read a couple of your comments before I go. I don't know. If they did that with the scenery, Revan, I think the scenery would be not double the price, but definitely a third of the price more, or even a quarter of the price. I thought with this they used the same plastic they used to make the terrain. It very much seems so. The terrain kits are a slightly darker plastic, so maybe they perfected this, but this kit was produced in 2024, so quite a while ago. But yeah, to me, it feels, it performs, it's got terrible mold lines, and the detail is just as bad as any of the train kits that they have, and they're all made in China. The only difference is they've got a made in England stamp on the back. I don't believe that. I really don't. It's a shame that they do this to their big cash cow, and such an iconic kit as well. Anyway, I must pop and grab a drink. Back in a sec. Little bit. Okay, I'm back. Hold your horses. Right. Let's get cracking. They're destroying my esophagus. Okay. Oh, where did that go? It went over here. Okay, let's crack on with this. I've gone straight for the resin file. It works better. I'm not really in the mood of preserving or not scratching the plastic on these models. At this point, I really couldn't care. They're just going to be designated to like scenery or at the back. I'm not going to have them at the forefront of the army. Maybe in like a collection video, they'll just be like hanging around there at the back. But put it this way, I'm not in any rush to... I mean, look at the amount of dust coming off that. This is... I don't know. The amount of dust coming off of these one pieces, and you've got 5 of them. You multiply that by another 2. That's a lot. That's a lot of dust coming off these. I'm actually... This is the most scared I've been on a plastic kit. Yeah, I might get my mask actually. I don't know. I don't know how to read that comment. I think that Games Workshop manufacture in UK, but using low quality plastic because scenery isn't that popular. Yeah, but this isn't advertised as scenery. This is advertised as Citadel miniature, like a unit for Space Marines. And if that was the case, all of the scenery would now say made in England, and it doesn't. What I think they've mass produced this in China using crap plastic because it files and there's so much dust coming off this plastic. It's harder, there's less detail, there's more mold lines, so the injection mold is all skew whiff, which you don't normally get on Citadel miniatures. Just to get a bigger profit, you know, from the Space Marine collectors and players. I think this is, yeah, this is a travesty. I think this is just diabolical. And they are not interested in what anybody has to say, any videos that people make. They couldn't give a... Yeah, they just couldn't. What they do care about is money and sales. They don't care about your opinion. Some person's opinion, some person's video on the internet. I'm wondering if this is now a test bed. If they're pulling this one to see how this sells, whether that gives them a green light to do other things. And this is what I always thought about the scenery being made in China. I always thought it was a step in a series of steps. But I tell you what, if all the kits start coming out like this, I am out of the hobby completely. I just can't do it. I cannot spend this amount of money on this type of product. There's no way I will start a new hobby. No, Flo. No, they don't. I'd like to think that, but it's like shrinkflation again. Instead of raising prices, we'll just shrink the chocolate bar by 30%. But then we'll increase the prices anyway. That's, yeah. It's what they've been doing with scenery kits for years, keeping them at full Citadel miniature prices, but yet mass producing them with lower quality materials in China. And I want to know how toxic this horrible white persistent, this is finer and worse than Forge World resin. People bang on about Forge World resin, all the dust and things like this. This dust, I've never seen this dust before from a plastic kit. I'm actually concerned. And it's not me fear-mongering, it's not me over-exaggerating. I have built thousands of kits. This isn't my first kit. So I think I've got a grasp, a good healthy grasp on the materials and what to work with. Yeah, it is. It is still a cheap manufacturer. If it wasn't, everybody would have pulled out of China. Like, that just doesn't make sense. I know companies have, but still, there's so much being made in China. Still. I know it's cost more now than it has, but still there's huge amounts being made there. But what concerns me is all the products now that are being made there that aren't saying that they're made there. It's like a token gesture type thing, because if that is happening, then you start to question what else. You know, if there are other things happening behind the scenes, and that's being kind of twisted for profit, yeah, it kind of like makes you wonder. And this kit has opened my eyes. I initially thought this, right? I initially thought, I don't think I'm naive. I initially thought that this would be a Citadel miniature kit. I didn't think it would be scenery. I thought it would be a unit. I honestly thought it would be the same quality, consistency, detail as the previous drop pod kit, but just not being able to close. That was where I was going with this kit. How wrong have I been with this kit, with my expectations? Very, very wrong. Right, anyway, we can start gluing before I lose the ability to breathe. We can build just the top two, and they want you to build kind of like that, like two together next to each other. So we will do that. And then they want you to add another two, and then the final one, and then you put the full thing down on there. So yeah, this makes me cautious about any other big kits for any main factions. This is their biggest faction. It's their cash cow. They make the most money out of Space Marines than everything else put together. And it just shows that if they can do it for this, they will do it for anything else. I'm quite concerned. Yeah, did not see this one coming. Because it's that price point as well. 50 quid, you think, yeah, 50 quid, that's like a tank or something, or like a Land Raider. And the hundreds of parts you get with those kits and the detail you get. You know, let me put it in perspective. Oh, this Thanatar, I think this is like £63 or so like £13 more. It's just night and day difference. Night and day difference. Yeah, nice one, Flo. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good analogy there. Thank you. Lucas, you just joined the chat. The issues you're describing about this kit quality in particular, about this kit quality in particular, this kit in particular, not GW's recent releases. I've covered quite a few of their recent releases, like all the Deathcore Krieg, some of the Mechanicum stuff, all the Emperor's Children. I haven't really had any issues with any of those. It's this kit in particular has thrown me a curveball in its lack of quality and detail. It's just. I thought I'd take one for the team and get this kit for everyone here to build it, and it is just. Well, just wait for my review, really. Because the floodgates will open in that. If I can still talk by the review, I'll do the review tomorrow and get it out to you first thing Monday morning. So yeah, I apologies in advance if you're going to be waking up Monday morning and seeing my absolute crash out cook off of a review about this abysmal kit. Like I'm filing, and it's like it's like Forge World resin. It's just awful. Peter, am I from England? Yes. Plus, Games Workshop already has the gear to make quality. They do. Why spend the money exporting it and having to give the mandatory secret source to Chinese? Money, profit. If they can make double the amount of profit on these kits with all the costs of shipping them and shipping them back. These were made in 2004. That's all you need to know. Like, these were produced in 2004. Not 2004. 2024, sorry. Have they taken 6 months to get back over here? You know, It just seems odd to have a kit release in July of 25 that was made in 24. Just seems too odd. Yep, I totally agree. Cool tactic. You know, couldn't have said it better. Boshek, you just wanted the doors to close. Sad face. Yeah. Yep. What will also make you even more sad face is you can't get the old kits anymore either. This has replaced it. This has replaced it. It's bonkers. I mean, I thought having 3 different kits for the Imperial, the Arvis lighter was bonkers, right? But having this allegedly Chinese made scenery kit come out for your biggest factions at this quality is just, my eyes have been forced wide open this evening with this kit, and not in a good way. Thank the Emperor we have the Saturnine box set in 2 weeks' time. I feel like I need one of those lemon sorbets or something to cleanse my palate after this thing. I mean, I'm currently building the Sentry, not the Sentry, sorry, the Rapier squad. So that's a little bit of a palate cleanser. I might avoid the tarantula missiles because they're all right, but they're just yeah, not much to them. I don't know, my throat is hurting a little bit, and again, it might be because I'm breathing all of this horrible plastic dust that is hard to get off my skin, or it might be because I've been talking for the past hour. But I'll tell you this way, my throat doesn't really hurt when I've done previous live streams and I've talked for 3 hours. Just putting that out there. Yep, I agree, Boshek, I agree. Yep, you're right, doesn't have any missiles or guns. Yep, they are. That's a good point, Boshek. Good point, yeah. It's just bad decision after bad decision when it came to this kit. That's what I'm really struggling to grasp. It's like the first bad decision, let's replace the existing drop pods. Second bad decision, let's replace them with drop pods that you can't close the doors at all. Third bad decision, let's make it all in China. Fourth bad decision, 50 quid entry fee, even if you want one. Fifth bad decision, make it out of crappy scenery plastic that, you know, I might as well have 20 vapes instead of build this kit tonight. Honestly, I'm probably going to drown the next time I swim. Talk about microplastics. I'm wearing my face mask for the second one. That is how worried I am Okay. Remember, it's always the dust you can't see. It's always the particles you can't see that do you more harm. It's never the stuff that you can see. Yeah, good point, Boshek, yeah. Yeah, I guess so, Revan. But as I've just listed all of those terrible decisions, I think there's bigger things at foot rather than you having a base. I mean, what base would you have this on? Like, I don't think Games Workshop are gonna give you Archeon's round base to put these things on. And also, if you give them, if you have a round base, you're not going to be able to fit models in between all the doors, which is one of the reasons why they created this in the first place, was to say, right, rules wise, the doors are always open when it lands. Because I think some pesky people in games and things were dropping their drop pods and having like one door open, which is silly and petty. But you probably know some people like that, probably, or at least one person that would do something sneaky like that. That is just playing a friendly game of 40k or Horus Heresy. So not even playing for money. They haven't even put their car keys in a jar or anything, and yet they're using these tactics. Good point. Yeah. Oh, now I'm starting to cough. I really am taking one for the team this evening. If this review isn't released Monday morning, well, you'll probably see a very large Warhammer collection on eBay. Drop pod lungs. Yeah, drop pod lungs. It's a real thing. These comments are so good this evening. I really appreciate reading these. These have been brilliant. Thank you. Including smoking benefits in their products. Like, I've built Chinese made scenery that's from Games Workshop. And there has been some dust, but it's usually like kept on the pieces. It hasn't floated about, and it's been easy to take off. This kit is different. This is like a secret Chinese made kit. Yeah, that's difficult, isn't it? Though, like, if you have a drop pod and it lands next to a building, um, yeah, this is where like house rules come into play. If you've got house rules and you're playing with someone that has a drop pod, it's it's a tricky one because the drop pod is like a physical thing, isn't it? It's like a vehicle, a transport unit. It's not like teleporting. Like, if you teleport some Terminators in and one of them lands in a wall, then it's just, squished, isn't it? Like, it just instant death. Whereas with a drop pod, you know, sometimes the drop pods are destroyed. Sometimes they'll land on the building and then like one door will open. I mean, there's all kinds of scenarios. Sometimes that drop pod will destroy that part of the building. Sometimes it will level the whole building. Yeah, it definitely has raised a lot of awkward scenarios for gamers. I totally agree. But at the same time, was all of that worth it to get such an inferior product? I mean, I would have rather had more people, like more gamers, discussing what's going on with the drop pods, rules wise, than just to have this and say, right, the doors are open, it fits or it doesn't fit. I mean, that's quite a big area. Where are you going to be dropping drop pods now? You're not going to be dropping them anywhere near scenery with a footprint this size. It's just going to be out in the open, and they're going to be instantly KO'd from Tau or Eldar or something, aren't they? Or Necrons even. Right. 2 to go. Yeah, I definitely reinforce what I said earlier. No benefit. I'd rather spend a bit longer with a proper made in England Citadel old drop pod and take a bit longer to build it and to get those like mechanisms right and to get it all to fit nicely than take a little bit less time because because it's such horrible plastic. You're going to be spending a lot of time getting rid of these mold lines, and you have to get rid of them because you can't have the doors closed to even hide them, to glue them shut. You have to get rid of them because they're on show. Yeah. This, I mean, I wipe my sort of files and things on this, and I've got kind of like nearly the whole thing is just on those 3 fins or whatever you want to call them. Exactly. So it still raises questions. Cool. Like where are you gonna put the drop pod? We need templates back and scatter dice. Change my mind. Hey, we've got them in Horus Heresy. You know. Oh, serious question here. Dragon, not sure if I buy the Saturnine box for $420, only for the Saturnine minis, or wait and buy them all separate for like $340. How do you know they're going to be $340? Like that's my biggest question to you, my friend. You don't. That's the thing. They're not available separately at the moment. So therefore, we don't know how much they're going to be. You can only completely estimate that. I will tell you that all of them separately are still going to cost more. That's always the case. The thing is, if that is true, and you can get them all separately, maybe you're thinking like minus the rule book or something. I don't know. That really depends on whether you want them now, like when I say now, I mean in 2 weeks' time, or whether you want them in a month's time. I mean, you mentioned are you Australia? Is it winter there? Or it's cooler weather, I guess. Um, I would get them now. You're in the best part of the year to do the hobby, probably. I'd get them now. I'd pay a little bit more money, and then you've got an extra 2 weeks of having them. But that's my thoughts on it. And then you've got the box set. You see, it's a bit more special than having like separate boxes and things. And if you're going to buy it all separately, it's like you'll be more inclined not to buy certain sets, certain kits, or you'll buy one set and then you go, oh, do I really have to buy others? Or you'll buy one kit and you'll be building it, and then it might be a week or two until you buy the next one. And at least if you buy the kit, you've got it all there, and then you can work on it as a project. And if other things come out, other things come out. That's my thoughts on it anyway. They were too hard to build. Really? Wow. I thought the main reason they said was because of the arguments with the doors open or doors closed in gameplay. I thought that was the main reason. Them saying that as well, they've changed it because they were too hard to build. That's just appalling. I'm sorry. I'm getting PTSD now from so many minis I've built over the years. I was like, oh god, right, flayed ones. The Reaver Titan. Oh my god. Oh god, any of the knights? I'm just looking around. The Primarchs. Just get rid of all the Primarchs. We can have cardboard cutout Primarchs from now on, because each of them can be a bit of a pain. Yeah, wow, that's proper triggered me. It's not what? No, it's not difficult to no, it's not difficult. Oh god. The only way you improve in the hobby is to test yourself and to build more difficult models. If you don't build difficult models, you're always going to be flatlining at a certain proficiency. You're never even going to attempt a Warlord Titan, let alone a Thunderhawk or any of the big kits that people dream of. You're just going to be building push to fit blimmin' Space Marines, and that's all you'll accomplish. And I don't think that's good enough for anyone. I really don't. No. I don't believe those excuses. No, for one moment. The statement that I would believe is, we're not making enough money on this kit. We need to make 5-10 times more money on this one kit. So that is our reason. What an insult to hobbyists. What an absolute... It's just disgusting. Quite frank. It's if kits are too difficult to build, why are we building them in the first place? Why shouldn't they just come pre-built? Just make them pre-built. I think they kind of are doing that with the Joy Toy. I bet Revan is loving this. I bet Revan's thinking, yeah, there's Gunpla. And actually Gunpla have different ratings or gradings, as they call it, aren't they? is it for difficulty and skill? Why don't you do that for Games Workshop? Why don't Games Workshop implement a bronze, silver, gold? Maybe not bronze, silver, gold, because that kind of yeah. I don't know, like a tier system, like a 1 to 3 tier system in terms of difficulty of build. Like so push to fit would probably be like would 1. I'd put the lowest as 1 though, and then 2 would be like your primary Space Marines maybe, and 3 would be your Forge World kits. Maybe 4 if it's like a Titan maybe. I don't know. Am I right? I just. I'm just such a. I'm not a fan of insulting the intelligence or the skills of your customer base at all. I'm all for kits that help you with your hobby skills or nurture them. Or just speed up the build process that you have kits ready to game with, like push to fit kits. You know, I really do think there should be more push to kit versions of the kits. The reason why Games Workshop won't do it, but they can, is I would think they're quite difficult to design. There's more steps to produce a kit with smaller parts, but it's the same kind of kit. And they would have to sell them at much cheaper prices. Why do that when you can sell your kits at double the price, and justify 10 to 20 more times the number of parts? Yeah, we've still got one more after this. It feels like I've spent my whole evening just filing away at a drop pod. Oh. Let me just read some more. Sorry. Whoa, there's loads more comments. Sorry. Storing them is going to be a pain. Yep. Oh, don't worry. I'll bin my old drop pods and make room for them. No, flayed ones. Flayed ones. I thought flayed ones were hard. I thought Illuminor Seraz wasn't too bad. A lot of people had issues with him, but I thought flayed. I think flayed ones were just like very fine, small pieces, and I've got big manly hands, so apparently I have issues with that. Case GW really wants those microplastics. They do. They really do. Good. No, that's a good shout out for BattleTech. Yeah. You'd be skipping the 40 Marines and the turret. Oh, okay. Okay, that's fair enough. What, so you just want the Dreadnought, the Terminators, and the 2 Praetors? Well, the Dreadnought is, I think is it bigger than a Thanatar? So you're looking at 60 odd quid there, minimal. The Praetors are going to be 30 each, so that's 120. And the Terminators are probably going to be 40 to 50 quid each. Maybe. Well, there's 3 of them. Is it going to be 3 in a set or 6? Probably only 3. 3 for 40. 60, 120, 180 quid. I don't know what that is in dollars. Sorry. The Heldrake was the worst build. Yeah, good point. They're going to resort to push fit after another 4 years. Why not go full on Lego? That's a really random question, Revan. What kind of sponsors you want to have in the future? Honda, BMW, Motorrad, or Royal Enfield? That's a really, really odd. Revan, I wasn't prepared for that question, my friend. Where'd that pop out of your head from? Sorry, that's crazy. Sponsors. I'd love BMW Motorrad. I really would. But they closed the Norwich showroom, which really sucked. I think they closed that like a year or 2 ago in January. I think it's because it was joined to Harley Davidson, like that whole kind of showroom premises, and I don't think Harley were doing very well. So yeah, they closed that down. So my closest one now is like Peterborough, which is so far away. I'm not going all the way to Peterborough to do anything with the BMW. So it'd have to be Honda. I'd have to go back to Honda. I do have a motorcycle video coming out soon. That's actually my next non-Warhammer video. I recorded it a month or so ago with a like talking in my helmet like I normally do, and then my microphone must have bugged out, and I got some horrible feedback on the mic. So I've had to like do a voiceover, which is, it's not as good as the real thing, is it? Let's face it. But yeah, I hope you enjoy that one. But it's yeah, nice little ride around Norfolk. But yeah, anyone watching the chat, anyone watching the live stream tonight that have used that Element Games affiliate link recently, thank you. There was like a big order, which is, yeah, massively helped the channel. So thank you. I do appreciate it. I get a lot, like by a factor of quite a lot less. Ever since like 2 things happened. One, COVID ended, and everybody was just buying loads of Warhammer. Not surprised. Fantastic. People on furlough. They weren't working. They were investing in the hobby. That's perfect. So the affiliate stuff was good back then, really good. But since then it's dropped probably by a factor of 10 or 15. It's yeah. And I think also what happened was Games Workshop stopped third party from selling some of their products to the EU, or at least the prices changed, didn't they? So it's now, I think, cheaper for you guys to buy your product direct from Games Workshop from certain countries than it is to get a discount from Element and have it shipped. because that's what they were dissuading, wasn't it? Games Workshop were trying to dissuade people from buying their miniatures cheaper. Yeah, because that's a real great idea, because you know, all you end up doing by doing that is just you're making people spend less money on miniatures altogether, because in the long run they'll spend more and more, rather than a shop, you know, they'll just spend less, they'll have fewer purchases. But anyway, that's another tangent I went on. Yeah, I'd like to do something with Honda again. The thing is, I always have to respect the branches, like owners and stuff like that. Like you know, I have to respect their wishes, and I always do. Like, if they don't want me to do a review on a bike, I won't do a review on a bike, you know. There's been times when I've made a video and they've turned around and said, yep, don't do a video on that, after I shot all the footage, which is a bit, yeah, a bit annoying, but right. I'm not sure when I will ever build the second one. Probably next year. I don't feel very motivated to build the second one at all. I think I'd rather just finish this one, handpick some rocks, and then cleanse my palette with the tarantula. Yeah, the complexity. Yeah. That's what I was talking about. Yeah. New World Eater box. Yeah, it's a fine line, isn't it? This is the thing. It is a fine line between trying to get kits that are easy enough to build. I think I started the hobby in just the right time, because for me, kits weren't too difficult back in the 90s. You know, Space Marines, you got your legs, your torso was in two pieces, you had an arm each, you had the bolt gun that you had to cut the grip off, which is quite tricky, and then like rest it on their arms. You had the shoulder pauldrons and the helmeted head and the power plant. That's all you had. You know, the more detailed kits back then were in metal. So literally like 2 or 3 pieces. You know, I was always gluing my fingers together, obviously, and they were always breaking in my box whenever I took them to have a battle. But I got through it, and the most difficult kit I ever picked up when I was a kid, teenager, I can't remember, was the Baneblade, was the resin Baneblade, and yeah, that was the biggest kit I'd ever picked up, and yeah, I got it. I did an all right job, I'm thinking. And then the next very difficult kit I picked up was the Warhound Titan, and I made a real mess of that. But I broke it apart when I was older and had another go, and it's, yeah, pretty decent now. That's the beauty about this hobby as well, is that, you know, if you're not very good to start off with and you don't do a very good job of your kits, you can always later on break them in a way and have another go or repaint them. Oh, thanks for distracting me, Revan. High Street is really struggling at the moment. When you say High Street, do you mean like motorbikes and things, or just in general high streets? Oh yeah, if you've got a high street shop and you haven't got a single online presence, I mean, even if you've got like social media and you've got a lot of followers, or you're on Instagram or TikTok, whatever, if you don't have an online presence, yeah, you're solely reliant on just people coming through your door, aren't you? Like it's all right to have a big social media presence and things, but if you've got a physical store, that presence on the internet, they could be people watching your videos or following you from Scotland. They're not going to come all the way down to your shop. It's highly unlikely. Whereas if they can just follow a link to your socials and then order something and get it the next day after watching you do such a lovely job, then yeah, that's the way to go. I would think that online would contribute the majority of sales to high street stores and things. High street stores, you've got so many more costs. Forget your business rates and your taxes and your overheads, your lighting, your electricity, your staff, you know, all those kind of things. If you've got your online presence, you've got your website, your web store to run. Yeah. Oh, good point. I just read that about the rent and things. Yeah, rent. Yeah, and business rates. Yeah. Well, yeah. I don't want to go down the political side too much, but yeah. 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 Nice to catch you too, Flo. Have a good one. An Oblivion crisis. What, like Oblivion crisis? Are you talking like Elder Scrolls kind of Oblivion, or? We're talking about that film with Tom Cruise in. Part of me thinks you're talking about the film with Tom Cruise in. Jason, are you picking up Saturnine Super? Games Workshop really did the dirty with invalidating a lot of army and war gear options. Yeah, I am. Yeah, I pre-ordered it. So Games Workshop have not sent me the box set for free or early. So it should hopefully come in 2 weeks' time. I've actually booked off the Monday of that weekend release to give you more time for me to do lots of live streams and things of just building that whole box set. I doubt I'll build the whole box set in 3 days, but you know, I'll try and pick up the books. The books are expensive, £44 each. Well, the Space Marine ones are. I think probably what I will do is I will pick up the books, but gradually. So I'll pick up the Loyalist Space Marine one, then the Knights and Titan one, then probably the Mechanicum one, then the Traitor one, then the Solar one. I just, part of me, yeah, to spend £180 on 5 books that are going to be obsolete in 3 years' time. You know, yeah. It just doesn't sit well with me as much anymore. had to be done though, like they had to, and then there's the Talons of the Emperor book that I'll have to pick up, but had to be done this edition, didn't it? Like they had to kind of release nearly all of them in one go because you know, last edition they only released the 2 Space Marine ones, and that was because it was new, and then the other books followed, didn't they? But yeah, what do you guys think of these Horus Heresy like supplement books? These like the drop site that sold out quite quick. That one, it's only 48 pages, not many. Wondering how well they're received. If it's a good idea. Yeah, if ever I need to give you a bad advert for this kit, hopefully the Zoom will work. That's the bad advert for the kit. Look at that injection mold misalignment. It's so thick, that mold line. It will still survive if I used a blade, the back of the blade. It's so misplaced. Like, I'm not exaggerating. Look, you can hear it. Yeah. Do you have negative or unpopular opinion of Saturnine pre-unboxing? Yeah, that's nasty. Do you think so? Sorry. Winning. Yeah. Negative. I'm trying to formulate an answer for Revan here. Do I have a negative or unpopular opinion? I'd say no. Like, everything in that kit works. I'm just not as excited about it as Horus Heresy 1.0, about the OG Age of Darkness kit. And I think that's because like that was the first, Horus Heresy is in plastic. Although we did get some Horus Heresy in plastic before, you know, like the Burning of Prospero box set and the Betrayal at Calth. So we kind of had that a little bit drip fed, if you will. But that was like, right, plastic Horus Heresy is happening. We're gonna get like plastic Cerastus Knights. We're gonna get plastic Mechanicum, Sora Auxilia tanks. Like, yeah, if you'd have told me back then when that released 3 years ago, super, you're going to get a plastic Karachnos, you're going to get a plastic Cerastus Knight, a plastic Thanatar, a plastic Infernus for Sora Auxilia, you know, I'd be like, really? That's quite cool. And that's what I'm hoping this release will bring about. Really, you know, we've already seen the plastic Fellblade, which is gorgeous, and I'm so close to pulling the trigger on picking up 2 when they release. Not so much because I need to or I want to. It's again the message it sends to Games Workshop. You're going in the right direction. This is not going in the right direction whatsoever. And what I mean by right direction is plastic Fellblade, Next step, plastic glaive. Next step, plastic falchion. Next step, plastic mastodon. Next step, plastic thunder. Oh, we made it. We made it, guys. You know, plastic Thunderhawk before GTA 6. I'm not sure about that, Revan. It's literally got one vehicle less. Like the Age of Darkness had the Land Raider Spartan, which is it's such a kit that's so hard to top. Nothing really has topped it. I mean, the Kratos is good, but it's too costly. Can't transport any troops. Yeah. Of all the Space Marine vehicles, that Spartan is so hard to top, that one. And what it meant for all of the other future Space Marine vehicles. Yeah, the quad accelerator cannon is odd to have that in there. The Saturnine Dreadnought is lovely, and we've already seen what the new one will be. What could they have done? The only other tank or vehicle they've kind of like teased is the Fellblade. They couldn't have put I'm going to expect it's going to be more than a Baneblade, so it's probably going to be 120 quid or something. They couldn't have put a £120 kit in a £190 set. You'd literally have a Praetor, a Fellblade, and the rulebook. Maybe some dice if you're lucky. I mean, a Xiphon Interceptor. Like, what would you have rather, the Saturnine Dreadnought and or a Xiphon Interceptor? Because you could have had a Xiphon Interceptor instead of that big Dreadnought, and then you'd have the quad accelerator cannon, and that would kind of work a little bit because you've got like anti-air and an air unit, and they seem to be pushing air units a bit more in this this edition. I don't like what they've done with Titans. I said that in my news and pre-order video today that I am going to edit. Yeah, I don't like how they've made separate hull points for your head or your carapace or the, you know, it's just it's too convoluted. At that point, you just want to bring a Titan to a battle, and then the other player have all his Space Marines and, pardon me, vehicles, and then at that point, is it fun? I mean, I question that. If one person's got a Titan and the other person's got 40 Space Marines and a Dreadnought, it's like, okay, great. Plastic Thunderhawk is selling the kidney. Well, you won't be able to sell a testicle because it'd be full of microplastics. So there you go. You'd rather have a battalion like Old World, but with a vehicle inside. A battalion. So okay, so you're not happy, like you're not happy with the Saturnine box set. So tell me what units you would have in that box set. I'm interested. I'm not gonna smash you down for it or anything like that. I'm just interested in what you would, if you could make a Saturnine box set. It doesn't have to be called Saturnine. It can be just a generic Horus Heresy starter army, or two armies in one. What would you have in the set? Okay, we've almost done this one drop pod after 2 hours, 2.5 hours. Because remember, I haven't even clipped off the extra bits off the sprue for the second one. So I'm still at that stage. And I haven't prepared the rocks, which I might just not do actually, because you can't tell with those mold lines on the rocks. The rocks don't really have any mold lines, they just have sprue flash. Okay then. I will be in Discord straight after this live stream though, just to give you a heads up if anyone wanted to chat. So Krieg, I haven't talked to you for a while, but if you've got other things to do, that's absolutely fine, my friend. And don't worry, I won't keep banging on about this kit in the Discord. I think you've heard enough of my thoughts on it. Right, that's that one done, and we can glue all of this together. They say, you know, you told me this evening that they say that the old kit was too hard to build. Well, this kit is too boring to build, and it's too much of a chore. You will fall asleep building this. You won't want to complete it. It really is diabolical. And now the moment of truth. Squeeze this on here like a glove, like a China-made glove. Stumpy doors, right? These are. I'm just so used to picking this up and it folding in on itself. Does that? The thing is, unfortunately, I've got lots of. I can't access my. Oh yes, I can. Tell a lie. Here we go. Here we go. Where's that going? Okay, so what I do have close by is the stick of truth. No, it's not stick of truth. That's something else. So 64 millimeters. Okay, possibly then. Okay, they don't look like they would, but they do. They really don't look like they would close. They look so short. It's an illusion because of the rocks in between them. But yeah, apparently they would close. Primaris wise, Primaris. Well, you can have one Primaris in there. So that blows the scale out the window. Could 2 Primaris fit in there? I honestly don't think they could. No, I don't think 2 Primaris could. What about? It's very naughty, but No, I think only one Space Marine would fit in there. Right, so we're back to drop pods being only able to transport 5 Primaris. Okay, well, that's the drop pod. I'm just lost for words. Look at this mold line here as well. Crazy, absolutely crazy. I'll just clean up a little bit more of this and then add a couple of rocks. Surely that will improve the model. Oh, missed a bit here. Yeah, I'm just not feeling these at all. It's so many reasons. As I say, the only way they could possibly redeem themselves now is a full plastic posable Dreadnought drop pod. And while you're at it, an Anvilus drop pod as well. I don't think they could do a Charybdis. It's too big. Too expensive as well. Yeah, the amount of mold lines and just poor detail and things is... It's all right from afar. Like, well, even this distance, actually, like a foot away, is still dodgy. Right, these are the rocks you get. Let's see what we can actually do with this. So many rocks, it's crazy. The last time I had this much dust on my board was when I was building the Thunderhawk. What Legion do you plan on painting on the drop pods? It's a good question, Patrabo. They're just going to be black, so they'll be Dark Angels straight up, because then I could just use them for Raven Guard, really. And black consoles or something like that. Right, where do these rocks go then? Anywhere? Can you just... Yeah. They've got slants on them, so you can kind of put them anywhere. I like the way that looks, though. That's all it's all right. I'm not going to say it's good, so we'll put that in there. That looks okay too. I like the bigger, thicker pieces of rock, as opposed to these smaller, thinner pieces. I want to use the skulls though, so I don't like those pieces. Let's have a go with them. Yeah, I don't like these sort of rounded pieces. I'm kind of making a area of doing a rock tier list right now. There we go. Yeah, I might go for like flat rock together. No, flat rock just looks a bit odd. Yeah, flat rock looks a bit bizarre. I guess that looks okay. Yeah, that looks not too bad. I don't know with these. I don't know whether less is more. So bizarre. It's because some of them just don't fit, or they're too big, or yeah, flat rock just looks just odd with them. Like the crumpled rock looks okay, but flat rock just, it needs to be destroyed around it. I think that's my feelings on it. And all of the time I'm being reminded that there's awful mold lines about. Okay. That's not too bad. Hello, Yuri. How are you doing? Good that you caught the stream. It's been a real positive one tonight. Maybe if I put them there. I don't get these bits at all. That doesn't look too bad like that. Yeah, we'll keep that. And this piece. Yeah. There we go. That's done. I don't want to mess with this too much. Could I put that in there, maybe there? No, we won't use that. That's fine. Yeah, I don't know about this. These rocks and things. I put rocks on it. I'm not. The thing is, if you put the rocks on, they're gonna take up more space. But it does look a bit better with them. Like it blends in a bit more, but you can't have the rocks splashed and cracked around the tips of the doors either. You have to have them like squished around the sides, and some of them you can't fit like everything that you'd want to fit there. Like maybe I'm just like new to this kit, or like I'm not very good at this particular kit, but even the smaller pieces, it's almost like one or the other. Like you have to pick one of these long parts or a small short part. You can't have more than kind of one on each side. I don't think I did anything on this side because a lot of that is already taken up by those rocks. So maybe you're supposed to just use like these smaller ones. That would probably work. I think that's okay. Yeah, we'll have that. Yeah, that's all right. What about this piece here? That work? Yeah, we'll have that. I'm trying to put as many rocks on as possible because I'm not sure whether I'll put any rocks on the other one. I might do though, but you can see where I'm coming from. If you use a lot of the rocks, I wouldn't advise using these flat ones. They just look a bit out of place. The ones that have got crushed rocks and things look way better. It's odd because it depends on your board though, whether these will ever blend in. At least with the ones that you could open, you didn't have to worry about that. You know, like say you play on a gaming board that's like a moon base, and then you bring one of these and it's got like brown mud and turf coming off of these broken bits of dirt. It's just not going to blend in. So I understand what they've done in terms of like if it fits to your own board. But I guess you could say that about the bases, couldn't you? You could just say, you know, and you could turn this base or these rocks to a similar look to your own army, you know. But without that round base, you haven't got, yeah, it just kind of, I don't know whether it would work on other battlefields is what I'm trying to say. Anyway, that's it. They're all the rocks. They're all the rocks that you get as well, so you don't get duplicate. So the other one will either have no rocks or it will have to be stuck with some of these flat rocks. I think it would have been better if they just had these rocks that I put on it duplicated. I know they would look quite similar, but I just don't think these flat ones work well with it. I don't know. Because then if you've got two of them, you have one terrain piece that has these crushed rocks, and another drop pod that has, you know, these flat rocks. And if they're in the same area, the rocks might be similar. I don't know. I'm going too far deep into this completely. Clearly, the rocks have turned me mad. This whole box set has turned me mad. Anyway, that's it for me. I've had enough. I'm gonna go on Discord and try not to mention the D word at all, the DP word at all. Yeah, can't really say much about this other than I'm gonna have to build the other one tomorrow, review them, and try and get a refund from Games Workshop for my life back. Well, thanks for joining me on this upbeat, positive live stream. I'm so happy that you could join me for this moment in my life. Really appreciate it, and I will see you in the next live stream. I probably will live stream tomorrow. We'll see. But I won't be building the second one. I'm not going to. Crikey, I'll have to send you some money to put you through that torture. But I'll probably build like a tarantula or one of the rapiers or something. But I do appreciate all of your comments and your interaction. It's been so fun. I've really enjoyed it. And yeah, I'll speak to you all soon. Thanks again for all your support, and appreciate it. And remember, the Emperor protects.